Cool.
You guys are live.
All right, cool. What's up, man?
What's up?
We
Hey, man.
We're jumping right into it as we didn't get a chance to acquaint prior to the show, so everyone's gonna be seeing just the candid stuff.
Yeah, man. Good to meet you. I'm a big fan. I gotta say, I'm a little newer to Cardano, but when we first got into NFTs, my business partner Sonny was like, "All right, there's this guy Cardano Jur, and maybe one day he'll retweet us, but I'm not really sure. So we got to really try hard." So this is pretty awesome.
That's awesome, dude. What is your name / what should I call you?
I usually go by Oddest Human Dad, but just call me Thad. My real name is Thaddeus.
Thad, cool. All right, awesome. Yeah, it's great to meet you. I'm glad I found a taking to the project. It's cool. I'll start by the first thing, which everyone pretty much notices, is the art. What was your inspiration for all that? I'm very curious because it's very unique to say the least.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I've been sketching since I was a little kid. I really like political cartoons, and I like kind of that fix or the sort of pressure-based width. So I started sketching around with some orangutans as inspiration, and also jokingly, one of my cousins kind of has a big furry look. So yeah, we pulled together a humanoid orangutan and tried to give him as many unique features as possible. But the big thing for me is like when I was going through it, I really like to choose different color schemes and color styles. So whereas the traits are a little bit more free form and hand drawn and stuff like that, I really focused on trying to mix and match with different colors.
Yeah, they're very funny. I noticed there's an echo?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hang on, Dad. I'm sorry.
All good.
Let me see if that fixed it. It did.
Let's just use the MacBook. Let's just cut everything and let's just use the MacBook.
Okay.
All right.
No, don't cut everything. Alright, you guys should be good now. You can take off your headphones. Alright, can you have them talk? Should be able to hear. Yeah,
You hear me all right, guys?
Yeah. Cool. Cool, man. Can you hear me?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you well.
All right. Cool, Dad. Well, yeah. I mean, that's really cool. And then, so your business partner, what's your role and what's his role?
Yeah, I mean, he's been in Cardano for a long time. He got in, I don't know if he minted buds or just got in right
Did you
around
say
the time
Sunny?
of buds for NFTs. What? Sunny, yeah. Yeah, he's in the Discord as
Was
Sunny.
it
Yeah.
Sunny Cardano?
No. He goes by Sunny. He hasn't doxed yet. But he's mostly PR. He's mostly PR and marketing. All the development and the artwork, that's all me. And so we kind of set up a team where he tells me how to be in Cardano. He knows the space really well.
Yeah.
But I'm still learning.
Totally. What's been like the biggest lesson that you've learned so far in the just crypto or Cardano as a whole? New.
No, I'm pretty familiar with crypto. I read the Bitcoin paper as a comp sci undergrad when it came out, and
Whoa.
then been trading since. Yeah, I've been trading since 2015 or so, 2016 maybe. Yeah, I mean, what I learned about Cardano is like I think it's learning about the history of the community. It's a very history focused community. Like someone will come up and be like, let's talk about I don't want to throw any projects under the bus, but they'll say, why is buds important? And to an outsider, that's a pretty crazy question because like I have no idea why it's important. But then you learn about everything that Alice has done and stuff like that. So yeah, I've learned a ton about the history of Cardano, and I feel like I'm always learning something new.
Right. And why are space buds important in your opinion, if they are important?
No, I think they're very important. I mean, I know they've had a lot of heat recently, but I mean, like we've talked recently about some of the stuff that Alice is working on with V2 and some of the token migration. But for me, like I use his software every day. I build on top of Lucid, and I use all of his tools. I think it's phenomenal what he's done for the space, and
Yeah.
you really just have someone who, like, yeah, I mean, he's done well for himself, but he's also like really just laid down pillars for the community.
Right. Okay. So I had this thought on my way here. Actually, I was thinking to myself. I was like, like my roommate, he he has, for example, just an example. He has a lot of Cardano, and but he doesn't really know the first thing about Cardano. He doesn't really know the first thing about NFTs, just like a normal person. So
Hmm.
if I said to him, I said, "Hey, look at this Wild Tang," and she says to me like, "Okay, fine. I know you're in NFTs, but like what's special?" I think I really would like to see people understanding NFTs and feeling NFTs in a way where they don't have to know all this programming and software and this and Plutus and Lucid and that. I would love
Yeah.
today to get a very like talk to me like I'm in kindergarten type thing, and I really want to
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from, what this project is about. I don't know. I mean, we can do whatever you want. I don't know if you want the tanks to be the main focus
No, that's
of
fine.
this conversation or whatnot. But I, as one thing I for sure want to get down is understanding. I guess what you're doing, and I would love to be able to re-explain it to someone as best as I possibly could who is not fully familiar with
Yeah,
all that stuff.
that's great, man. I mean, I think, like, think back to that first time you bought, like, your favorite pair of Nikes, or like you bought your first Apple iPhone.
Yeah,
Like,
I can remember that for sure.
there's, yeah, yeah, and like that, that is, I think, where I want to take NFTs. Like, that first time you bought a Tangs, okay, yeah, you dig the artwork, but it unlocked a whole world for you. Like, NFTs, because of some of the things you can do technically, they can unlock a whole world for you. I mean, if you have my Tangs, you get mobile apps, you get web apps, you get extra tools. Like, yeah, I
Can you
dig the artwork,
briefly?
but
So you have
yeah,
me,
yeah.
and can you briefly describe that point? Because that point is broad for the me and average every average person.
No, I mean, it's heady stuff. It's like, if I could, I'm trying to
Like
think,
the
like, if I
like
could take,
yeah, like give me an
what's up?
analogy, or like the mobile app. Like tell me what's hot about the mobile app, or just trying.
Well, I mean, like, for me, yeah, like for me, I just hate how I have a million logins on my phone. Like, I should just be able to say, here are the NFTs that I vibe with, and here I'm gonna log in with my wallet on my phone, and all of a sudden the apps know exactly who I am and what I want.
Right.
Like, NFTs are basically, to me, like a loyalty pass or an identity pass. I mean, we could talk specifically about the mobile apps that I've built so far, but
Yeah.
like, I think what's more important is you're gonna see people treat NFTs like almost like the new form of a login or a new form
Mhm.
of an identity.
Form of login and identity. Yeah, I can see that. And so where, as far as your mobile app goes, where does that fall into place?
Well, for our mobile app, if you have a Tangs in your wallet, I think one of the features requires three Tangs, but I built this mobile app that only works if you have Tangs in your wallet, and
Cool.
it is like a home screen widget. And so it just loads up NFTs on your phone and it cycles through them so you can interact on your phone and see your NFTs right there on your home screen.
And just Tangs or
And
any,
then
or you can see any NFT.
just the ones in your wallet.
Uh, Only Tangs
No,
or
no, any of
yeah.
them. Yeah,
Cool.
any of them. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The Tangs is the key. The
Yeah.
Tangs is like,
Right. Right.
yeah, yeah.
That's
and
really
and
cool.
so, like,
That's almost like, to me, I see that as like like a drop in the pond. Like here's one thing we can do, just to show you guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, like, I mean, do you have when you think about NFTs, do you have favorite projects and what they've done for you, or are you more you vibe with the art a little bit more, or you like how they make you feel in real life?
Mm, the latter question is hard to even resonate with because it's like how do they make me feel in real life? Like there's nothing I can do yet. The I think the furthest thing I could think of off the top of my head is Ape Fest. Like
Okay,
that's like right now in my opinion probably
yeah,
the most lucrative thing you could do with your NFT today. As far as like what the value is of that. Like that's a Ape Fest is like a it's an experience, you know, and
yeah,
even with regardless not having an ape, even just the ticket would probably be like 500 to $1,000. So that's pretty cool as far as real life goes. Um, but okay, so yeah, as far as that, I have a yeah, my favorite project is definitely Clay Nation, the Claymate.
okay, cool,
I love
yeah.
everything that they do. I love the team full heartedly. They are for sure my favorite so far. The art, I'm not gonna say like the art is uh, like astounding, but what I will say about clay art is that it's one unique, very like down to earth. Um, they were the first ones to really make a name out of clay in the NFT space, so I was just like
Yeah,
history based, like that's pretty cool. And you know, I do like the way they make me feel actually, because some of them make me feel uncomfortable, like noticeably uncomfortable, and then some of
interesting.
them, yeah, and then some of them are just so clean and like they have a great smile, and they just look happy and you know far apart from the collection, meaning they stand out. So
That's awesome, man.
that's like my in depth like outside in kind of way of why I like clay art, I guess.
You think you're gonna go so like my thought is you'll go somewhere and you'll say like, "Oh, I'm a clay holder," and then they'll verify your wallet and you'll do something cool. You know, that's
So
kind of where I think it's going.
that's where I've been and thought for a while with NFTs as a whole. However, with Clay, I think off the bat, see, they're building their own realm, their Clayverse, their whole thing. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's your ticket. I'm sure there's going to be benefits within the metaverse um, by holding their NFTs. You know, off the bat, if you have a pitch, I mean, you literally have property in their Clayverse.
right,
And who knows what else
right,
they'll do with, like, maybe you could dress up cool if you own a certain clay or something, you know? So, as far as
right.
like off the top of my head, that's the ticket so far that I'm expecting, and I think that it'll further on grow.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's just the tip of it. Like, I agree with
Right.
you. Like, I think because I think Sonny was telling me he's got a plot by the stage. I think, and he was trying to tell me about that setup. There's some sort of concert. He said, and then he's got one by the stage. Yeah. So like
Mm.
I kind of feel like it'll be that for everything. Like Tangs, you know, I'm not a musician, so I don't think I'll ever have Tangs be a pass to a concert. But I could see you signing up for like, you know, a new, I don't know, Microsoft Office type software you want. And instead of having to give all your information and paying with your credit card or whatever, you just show me your wallet and there you go. You get a beta to the software. Like
Right.
it's that kind of, yeah, it's that kind of like affinity. It's like a brand now.
For
Yeah,
you, because that's the direction that you like.
exactly. That is the direction I like. Yeah.
That's really cool. Okay,
Thanks, man.
I can wrap my head around that and explain that to someone. Um, all right,
That's good.
take it to the next step now.
Yeah, it's hard. I've been writing code all day, so I'm still plugged into the matrix. I gotta get out of there.
Wow. So, what are you? Are you a programmer? Are you I don't even know what the words are. Developer.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a programmer, developer. I mean, I don't do it in my day job anymore. I stopped doing that, but I used to. Do you have a? Well, you don't have to tell me, but do you have an Alexa or?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I was on the founding team for the Alexa. I used to
that's
work
so
in
cool.
industry, and yeah.
And
Yeah, yeah. So
can
I used to
you
be a coder.
share
Yeah.
what portions or what input you had, or a fun story?
Yeah. Well, I was one of the builders and architects on the voice collection. So anytime you talk to her and she's like capturing your voice and figuring out what to do with it, that's all going through my systems.
That's crazy. Yeah, I use it all day long.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be playing games and I'll have like my headset on, and all of a sudden I hear whoop because it thinks I said Alexa, even though
Yeah.
I just said
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. She does that a lot. Yeah. I got to tell you a funny story. So, my
She
folks,
started saying sure to me. I don't know how I like that. She was like, I was like, Alexa, turn it down.
she says, sure.
She'll be like, sure, I can do that for you. Like as if she had a choice all of a
Eh?
sudden.
She's trying to humanize herself.
Yeah,
She's
don't
like, be nice to me.
yeah.
It, yeah. That was wild. We had a whole team there that like just tracked how people vibed with Alexa. Like how many times does Alexa get proposed to? How many times is like yeah, we had a lot of stats on that stuff. It was pretty wild.
When you say propose, what do you mean?
Like, will you marry me? Yeah.
Oh, like because people say that for fun, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, hopefully.
That's really funny. And what
Yeah.
can you do with some data like that?
I mean, you get these like yeah, you kind of understand people. I mean, at the end of the day, like think about NFTs. Like think about how much you learn from everyone on Twitter when they're what do their NFTs say about them? You know, it's we're also I mean I guess now we're all digital natives, but like I can't remember a time when I didn't have a 6-inch piece of glass in my hand, and I think when you see like what's someone doing with an NFT or what are they talking to their devices about, I mean you're learning about people at the end of the day. That's my
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
Where do you think the people? What do you think you learn about people with the tangs?
Oh man, they like utility, man. They need good tools. You
Yeah.
degens need good tools, man.
So
Yeah,
okay, so let's talk about something. So I was
yeah.
speaking to someone about this Wild Tang's utility that I heard through a grapevine, who they heard from their sister's cousin, his brother, and
Yeah.
what I basically understood, and I'm sure it's a bit off, is that if I own a Wild Tang, one Wild Tang, I can mint 5 NFTs or something.
Close. Unlimited. Can mint
Unlimited.
as many as you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Mint like, is that a hard thing to do? Mint an NFT?
Well, I think it used to be. I mean, our goal is to make it easy. So, do you do any art or music or
Uh, yes, but I haven't published anything.
well, say you wanted to, right? Say you wanted to take a piece of music and MP3 file or whatever. Like getting that on the blockchain is a real pain typically. So we put up a website and you just connect your wallet with Nami or whatever.
With the Tang.
And without needing to know any code, yeah, you can turn it into an NFT and put it on the blockchain.
And so what that you easy-fied the process basically?
Exactly. Yeah, it's no code. It's all in your browser. It's just like, it's almost like using like Google Spreadsheets or something or Google
Really
Docs.
cool.
Like yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we've seen it like I mean, NFT Cobra, who does the Wild Card show, he's actually really into photography, and he was struggling with trying to get his photos on the blockchain, but he used our stuff. Just dragging you. It's all drag and drop. You just
Yeah,
put your photos in there, and then yeah,
as it
and then now
should
his
be
stuff's all on
in
the
time.
blockchain. What's that?
As it should be in time, right? When like people like you
Yeah,
create these things.
yeah, and that's what Cardano needs. I mean, Cardano's amazing and has so many benefits, but like I think my goal at the end of the day, I mean, I'm running a business, so I want to make a profit, but honestly, my goal at the end of the day is a bigger pie. We need more people in Cardano and seeing the benefit of it.
Yeah, and as a programmer and someone who's been in crypto for a while, what's your opinion on Cardano and their development and all that? Because personally, for me, I can share my opinion all day long, but I'm not a programmer.
I think they're very thoughtful. I read a lot of their research papers. I actually almost got a PhD in robotics, but I
But
wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't quite into it. There's a photo of me lurking around in my Discord somewhere with me with robots. Um, I mean, they they're very thoughtful. I think they are thinking, how can we build this for years to come? And I like that. I like that a lot. They've been great. Like I've seen some of the IOG people in Twitter Spaces. They want to engage. I talk to them through. There are these like coding sites like GitHub. I sometimes talk to them through.
Mhm.
So I'm really impressed, to be honest.
Are you able to explain to me the what's the best way to put it? Like the flaw in Ethereum that Cardano is trying to replace. And let me just be clear, I'm not trying to say anything bad about Ethereum. I love Ethereum. I think
Hmm.
it brought so much to the game. But obviously Cardano was here because Charles left Ethereum and they weren't doing, for lack of a better term, what the vision that he thought was best. So he went to go do his own thing. So obviously he saw a flaw. So that's why I'm going to use that word. But are you able to describe that to me in child words?
Yeah, I can try. Like my take on that is like, imagine you go buy a coffee, and when you swipe your credit card, instead of Visa knowing that you're trying to buy a coffee, Visa has to know every single person in that coffee shop and what their order is. Like, there's just too much exposed in the contracts on Ethereum.
Mm.
And that's why you're seeing a lot of the security issues. I think the design that Charles took is he's like, no, you swipe your credit card, they only care it's you, they only care what coffee you're buying, right? Rather than trying to figure out what's going on in the whole world of things. Now, for me as a programmer, it kind of limits me because there's certain things I can't do, but it's a very clean design.
And when you say, okay, so let's touch on that. What do you mean you things you can't do?
Yeah, like a big one is, um, let's say I'm trying to use the analogy. Let's say like you're buying a coffee and the person in line behind you says, I want to buy your coffee. You guys don't know about each other. You don't talk to each other. You don't have anything to do with each other. So you can't really get like cross transaction context. You can only focus on you and what you're doing right at the moment.
So are you describing the when you say that the guy behind me wants to buy my coffee, where's the clash there?
He doesn't know about you. Nobody knows about each other. It's literally just like you and the machine and the card reader. Like everything in Cardano is super isolated to the transaction,
Mm,
right? It's in Ethereum you can do more with the state of Ethereum. You can learn more about the different transactions going on in Ethereum. The
okay.
EVM is like really powerful in that way.
EVM, what's that?
But with Cardano, um, it's how they do smart contracts. It's like the equivalent of
Okay.
Plutus,
Okay.
basically. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of an interesting analogy. I try to think if I could see a better analogy, but I think like here I'll give you um, another example if I could pull one out, which is like um, imagine that uh, imagine that you're trying to pay for something online, right? Like you're trying to buy a pair of sneakers, right? It might be important to know what is the other inventory and who else has bought what and all this other sort of like global
As a
information
consumer?
as a consumer, right? And as the marketplace. But Cardano really like limits your information. They're just like, no, you are here, you're buying the pink sneaker, it's $20, right? It's all about isolating the transactions in Cardano, you know? So I think what Charles was seeing, probably because of the DAO hack, was like there's just so much context in Ethereum. We used to have this saying that like in the cyber world that basically, security is a function of your surface area. Security, the more you leave open and exposed, like, the more you're able to do, the more you're likely to have something insecure happen.
Right. Right. So
So
that's really interesting. And when you said can't earlier, did you literally mean impossible, or it's just like it's just you're not
they
there?
they won't let you. Yeah, no, they won't let you.
And
It's not
like
possible to get other contacts. Yeah.
and what was it that you were trying to, or that you would try to do, but you knew you couldn't?
Um, let me see if I can think of a good example. Like, you ever had an NFT that updates, like an Aidonauts or something like that?
Okay.
Like they had the big reveal for Aidonauts and they changed all the metadata.
Right. Okay.
If I wanted to do something with my Aidonauts later, I can't find old versions of Aidonauts. I only know the Aidonaut at that time,
Right.
exactly what I'm
Okay.
doing right now. I can't figure out anything else about it. So,
And okay. And when you say figure out, why do you need to figure out, or what does that mean to you?
well, like if you're, or let's go back to clay. Like, say you wanted to evolve your clay, and they used to have blonde hair, but then they had red hair, right? Like maybe you wanted it where if it was blonde, then red, then blue hair, you got airdropped to clay. It's harder to do that in Cardano because you only know that you have red hair at the moment. You don't know that I used to have blonde hair.
Okay. So
There's
then,
no, yeah, yeah, go ahead.
no, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying there's no knowledge of anything going on in the past, the future, around. It's you're an island. Yeah.
So what Aless is doing,
Mm-hmm.
is that a workaround of what you're describing? The token migration.
I think in some ways it is. Yeah, I think it's a clever way to carry some state with to carry some context with you. You're not going to get the whole history probably, but maybe you'll know that like I used to have red and yellow hair. You may not know everything about everything, but you'll at least have a little bit more context. And like for him, it's a very great use case. Like sometimes things happen with NFT collections, and we want to encourage people like him to be able to have V2s of their NFTs and continue being part of the community. Like he wants to link the new Space Buds to the old Space Buds, right? So there is a thought that in the future, I mean, he can't do it because he doesn't have this yet for the old Space Buds. But if he did have this for the old Space Buds, he could very cleanly say, "Hey, you used to be a rhino, and now you're a hippo," and you can kind of get these like you can learn a little bit more about what you used to be.
So then is it really impossible, or does it just take some thinking?
Today, it's not possible to do it on chain. Yeah.
Right. And is so the token migration is considered off chain?
Yes, his token migration, I think, is going to have to be partly off chain because
Got
he
it.
used an off chain standard for his last one. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I think I'm understanding more and more. I hope anyone watching is like, I hope it's like the wheels are turning for things that you didn't really realize were like there, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
we nerds get into our nerd corners and start fighting about it,
for
but
sure.
we
And
gotta we gotta make sure it's like accessible. It's kind of hard, I try to think in analogies, but it's hard to get the right ones.
no, but your analogies definitely give some kind of texture and some like a tangible grasp for sure. So then my question is with the NFT creator thing that you did, why
Hmm.
why hasn't Aless done something like that? Do you think he just didn't have the time or see it as a priority?
I think he did. I think he put out. I think he put out a mint machine for buds holders.
He
Mm,
I didn't try it, but it was like the I didn't try it, but it was you're right actually. It was something
I
like
think he
that.
did.
But
Yeah,
it's not always available, I don't think.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wonder if he's just really busy. Like, I'm sure he's just super busy and focusing on other good stuff. Like, he does his things, and then because of him, I get to do my
Right.
things for my people. Yeah, like because I use all his code
So then
as like I build on top of his code.
why would anyone want to own a space bud if you're the for example, if the Tang is the one who actually has the application?
Well, we have both. I mean, we hold both. Sunny has a bud still, and I think Space Buds is just and Clays and all of these like these are like the true OGs of Cardano. They show it kind of goes back to that identity thing, right? Like if you have a Clay or you have a Space Bud or you have, even I think of like an Ape Society, which I love. Like you're really showing that you understand the history and that you have good taste in Cardano. And so I think like for me that would be reason enough to own.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I have 170 space buds. I'm not sure if you knew that. So
It's a pretty good haul.
I was just being devil
I
advocate. Yeah.
Devil's advocate.
Uh,
Well, I mean, let me put it this way. The reason I would get a Space Buds is because there's no replacing it. The reason I would get a Tangs is hopefully you can use our tools, you
right.
know?
I love that. I absolutely love that. I think that's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna just share our link on Twitter really quick.
Sure.
I forgot I didn't do that. I like the thumbnail, John. Thank you. This is fun, man. I like talking to you.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, it's fun. I do you have a Twitter too? Besides the Wild Tangz?
Yeah, it's I, Oddest
Found it.
Human Dad. Yep, there you go.
Hang on a sec. There you go. Cool. All right, cool. All right, what else should we talk about?
Nice.
Let's I don't know. What else do you want to do with the Wild Tangs? What do you have a like a big picture thing, even if it sounds crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I would just love to spend my days prototyping tools for people. Like just day in, day out, build stuff, show everybody what's possible. That's my whole goal. I mean, we can roll the video of how you guys are going to sweep floors. I
Yeah,
heard
tell me all about
you and
that.
Drams like
I
to sweep.
didn't I didn't know how you could I didn't know that you were building a floor thing.
Yeah, so I'll pop it up here. It's on our Twitter too. So can you see the screen I'm sharing? We're good. So I'll start playing this in the background and then I can talk about it. But yeah, I mean, this is a little tool I built. If you own Tangs, you'll be able to use it. You can see me on JPEG Store, and what it does is it just like acts as kind of like a little browser shopping cart, and you can start sweeping whatever you want without having to buy one at a time. And you can do it across policies. I'm going to do it across marketplaces. And then when you pop over back to your shopping cart, you'll see that it started loading up like all the things you want to sweep. And you'll just click that button and then you'll start sweeping. You can also
Wow.
go back and forth and remove things from your cart. Yeah. But
So
you got
it's
to own
a
Tangs to use this. Yeah.
yeah. So you gotta own a Tang. That dude, that's genius. And so how do you get the multi? Do the transactions all start and finish at the same time?
So we're going to do it in the first pass, just sign, 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 sign. But JPEG's on board to let us do a single transaction for multiples. So at the end of the day, you should just be able to, if you want to, like pick up 20 in a single transaction.
And so even so pick up 20 in a single transaction, so they will literally all be bought at the same exact moment, or at least like within
Yep.
a few seconds, couple seconds.
No, same slot, same
Wow.
contract, same slot. Yep.
Wow. That's pretty cool, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
this is part of the showing what's possible.
right. Just like the simple tools, the digestible things.
That's right.
That's really cool. I'm gonna clip that part that you did and I'll repost it.
Good. Cool, man.
Yeah. What else? What else you got for me?
Oh man, it's been a busy day. Um, no, man, we keep building. I mean, I love talking to people like you because you know this stuff better than me. You give me ideas. What do you want to see built?
Oh, good question. Great question. Fuck. I don't know. I've been so just I've been so deep in things that I've just kind of been talking to people about what they are building. I haven't really actually a buddy of mine is building something pretty cool, but it's kind of I guess confidential between us. So he is building
Hush,
some
hush. Sure.
yeah, he is building something pretty cool that is in reference to like markets and buying and stuff like that. Uh,
Nice.
um, what have you heard about the ghosts, like the clumsy ghosts and their
Yeah.
thingy? I don't know what that is. The widget?
Ghost Watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're actually So my code is actually gonna be the minter for their Clumsy Valley.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, so we partnered up because I mean, I met the team over there, Eli and everyone. They're awesome. They're
Oh
they're so
yeah.
cool what they're doing. Um, yeah, I mean, I think their vision is really like, and I won't speak for Eli, but like he's a really true designer and artist at heart, and so he's building these fun interactive experiences based on whether you own Ghost Watches or Clumsy Ghosts or anything like that. So the Valley Land Mint is there's going to be a whitelist mint for Clumsy Ghost holders, and they're going to be able to mint these land plots, and that's all going to happen through Tank software.
And what's special about the Tang software?
Well, I mean, I think the hope is it's fast and it does, it does multiples, does refunds and exact change.
Oh.
I was surprised I was surprised when I came in because Sonny was telling me, he's like, all right, so what is it going to be? It's like, we had a 38 a mint. So he's like, what happens if someone sends 45? And I'm like, shouldn't they just get a 15.8 a refund? And he's like, no, usually the whole thing doesn't go through.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, screw that, man. So
Right.
yeah, we're building stuff for Clumsy that's like it should get back to you within a couple minutes max. We're gonna make sure that the whitelist works well and there's none of that wallet switching issues where you can just send other wallets. Like it's really just giving Clumsy good technology.
It feels it feels like Wild Tangz is giving the space tools that I I want to say like should have always been here, but they're not. But they're not.
uh,
Like minting
takes time.
it,
Yeah,
and but that's the beauty of it for sure. I'm not saying in like a rushy way, but what I'm suggesting is like it's almost like this whole new world is coming to fruition. Is how it feels with some of these tools that you're describing, the simplicity of like, all right, you should why do you get a full refund if you all you did was send 15.8 or more? Like that's ridiculous.
right,
Like why don't you just get
right,
the change?
right.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a provocative question.
Yeah.
You think Wild Tangs would have existed if Ada were still $3, or you think there would have been enough people building stuff? Like, because I almost wonder if the bear market helped us, like, because people stopped building for a little bit, and people stopped like really being as invested.
Yeah, the psychology of markets is probably one of my favorite topics. It's really um, intriguing to me how humans behave when things are up, things are down, but yet nothing has changed. It's just the psychology of the markets. So are you saying would someone have done it first, basically?
Basically, yeah, there would have been more competition.
I don't know. You know, I part of me wants to say no because in a bull market it's too easy to make money and people get lazy, which is what happened. You know,
Mm,
a lot of shitty projects minted and people lost a decent amount of money. Off the top of my head, I can think of a handful of projects, but I think they're already dead horses, so I don't need to kick them any
yeah,
further.
don't need to kick him yet.
But yeah, I think that's like probably the most realistic approach. If it stayed bullish, I think people would have had less incentive to build. Right now, if you release a
Mm,
10K of silly ducks, like they're not going anywhere unless you at least, even if you're lying about the tools, at least building some hype around the tools. But with actually having the tools, I think that's the only way to sell out a mint right now is to actually have uh, some sugar.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of like makes me think of like back in '09 and 10 when the Great Recession happened. And then you had like all these amazing companies come out like Uber, Airbnb, and you had all these like really,
I didn't
it
think
was
of it
kind
that
of
way.
like a, yeah, it's kind of like this creative cycle because if
Right,
anybody was fluff in '09, '10, there was no extra money around them. Yeah.
right. I never really thought of it that way. I didn't realize that all these companies started peaking then, or began their approach to their success then. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. There's a whole theory around that, I think. I mean, I don't know, but it was sort of like Uber, Airbnb's that cream of the crop
Yeah.
was 2000s, and then like before that was Facebook was '04, which was right in the wake of .com. And it almost seems like, like they say, bear markets, people have to build, so really get some good companies coming out of it.
Right. Is Wild Tangz one of them?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I think so too. Cool.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, hey, we could all get hit by a bus tomorrow, but as long as I still have these fingers working, I just want to build cool shit. I mean, putting something, what's funny is like when you're in industry, right, and you're building the Alexa, which is like the coolest, hottest new thing, you're still going into an office building every day, and people don't see your work and stuff. When I built something for Cardano, oh, she just woke up. When I build something for Cardano, I just tweet about it, and people are like, "Oh my god, this is like I love," and like that engagement,
Right.
like it's amazing, man. I
Yeah.
love doing this. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, dude, thank you for being here. I think the Cardano community is really happy to have you.
Oh, thanks for having me. Yeah, and my DMs are always open. When you think about what you want built, you know where to go.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. For everyone, please take that on. Think about it.
Yeah, man.
Um, I was actually gonna. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the bear market and the bull market and how these cycles happen and how how have you been invested? I know you said you traded, but did you always
Hmm.
hold a little? Did you always have a decent amount of your portfolio in XYZ?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously not financial advice, but I've traded in and out and probably lost money trading on a net basis.
Yeah.
Um, I've always had a little bit, and then I've kind of used it as a like early on. I thought about it as kind of like a counterbalance to stocks, almost like I thought about it as digital gold back in
Yeah.
2017, 2018. Yeah, but no, I've always had a little bit in crypto, maybe like 10, 20%. And then whatever we make from Wild Tangz, I keep some of that in crypto. And then if I need to pay a credit card or student loans or something, I take a little off.
Yeah. And why did it take so long for you to hear about Cardano?
Well, Sonny's been bugging me for a year. It took a while for me to open my ears, to be honest. And I got burned a little bit in 2018, 2019 with some of my trades. So I was probably sitting it out a little bit.
So, you just were a Bitcoin fan for a while?
Bitcoin was a big one of mine. I actually, back when Bitcoin split into Bitcoin Cash, I had a big theory about how Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash would be competitors, which was a bad thesis. I got into Doge a little and, rode that up and then rode it down too long. I tried all these different theses, but honestly, I couldn't figure it out. Like Cardano was the first one where I came here because Sonny was a collector and he has all these NFTs and he has some ADA. But then I started seeing the application side of it. And it
Yeah,
was the first time I really got into that. Yeah.
yeah. I've been a big fan of Cardano from the jump just because I felt like in a bear market it didn't matter. And at that point, I
Yeah.
knew I could ride the wave and sleep at night at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So where do you see Cardano in 5, 10 years? Is it the next Ethereum or is it alongside it?
yeah, that's a really good question. I think it has to be alongside it merely because of things like Bored Apes and Doodles and all these. I mean, just those two projects alone are gonna stay relevant, in my opinion, forever. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know logistically if they could move blockchains. Is that a thing? Can you do that?
Hmm. I have to look it up. I mean, I don't know what base he's doing, to be honest.
Yeah.
They always talk about wrapping tokens.
Mm.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like a big question. So
Yeah.
I don't think those are going anywhere. So just based off that, I'm sure there's plenty other DeFi applications and this and that. And sure, Cardano could take some of that liquid and take some of that market cap, and it will. Ethereum won't always be 10 to 20 times bigger market cap than Cardano. That gap will tighten for sure, in my opinion. Will Cardano take over Ethereum? I don't really know. It seems like it would take a while, if ever, even just because based on what you described to me about how clean and precise you have to be, when you're building or creating.
Hmm.
So the gap will tighten. I definitely think that in time they can have the same market cap because um, NFTs and DeFi aren't everything about crypto. What if
Yeah.
Cardano, like all of a sudden, all of Africa is like their currency is Cardano? I don't know, just something along
Right.
those lines. Like Cardano can do anything, but Ethereum can get really creative and messy, and sometimes creative and messy is what kind of makes the world go round. So I'm a Cardano maximalist, by the way. I do have ETH NFTs, like a bunch of them,
Sure.
and
Hmm.
so I'm sharing, like, I'm realistic. I think ETH is amazing, and that is why I have some NFTs. But like as far as holding crypto, I only like to really hold Cardano
Yeah.
because I feel safe.
Yeah. I mean, I got a lot more comfortable with crypto like when it pulled back 80%. I think it was 2017 or something. I'm going to get the dates wrong, but there was this one major pullback 80% and then come back from that. And that was like, to me, that was like, okay,
Yeah,
it got that close to death's door. And whether it's this chain or that chain, I mean, I hate things like Luna because you see what the
just
power of
yeah,
just trusting one thing is. Yeah, like it's scary, but no, I think Cardano is well done, and I've really like, I guess that's the coolest thing, right? Like if I play the sweep video or I play other things, play other tech videos that are based on NFTs, like you're starting to see like real applications of NFTs. That's the coolest thing about Cardano.
right, right. With how convicted Charles is, it's hard for me not to believe that it'll succeed. And I would love to ask him the question about um, about that point of differences between Ethereum and Cardano. The kind of I don't
Yeah.
even know. I guess I don't really know how I would even form the question because I don't fully understand it. But just the single transaction thing and the isolatedness, I would love to understand his way of thinking and how and and uh, and just learn more about that because I'm sure there's plenty of aspects that I'm not totally grasping.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll have a much better answer too.
Or I mean,
He's quite the, yeah. I love watching his videos.
yeah, me too. I like how candid he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there is there anything else you want to share with the Tangs in general?
No, I just love the community, man. My door's always open. Whatever I can do to help.
Yeah, I like that. I like how you just keep the door open. You just drop something, you build it, you do it. Is there anything on the horizon of after the sweep thing in your eyesight?
Yeah, we got this other thing too that I've been teasing called Snipe. Um, like one of the big things with Cardano that kind of bugged me was I do everything from my phone, but I wasn't getting alerts about NFTs I was interested in on my phone. So I'm building a V2 of our mobile app, and the V2 of our mobile app is going to include like, hey, something just came on chain on JPEG, and then you'll click a push notification and you'll go right to JPEG. Like I want that kind of like mobile reactivity. So
Mm-hmm.
it's been something I've been investigating. I think there's a lot of cool like tech things there, but that's my own kind of research stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the coolest thing is like, if you had your phone and every day you were just there anyway, why not throw a bunch of Cardano stuff on it? It could become a major part of your life.
Dude, 100%. 100%. It
Yeah.
should be way more interactive. There you go. Yeah, dude. Yeah, you're finding all the little niches and stuff that should be done, in my opinion.
Well, it's people like you. I keep talking to people and they give me good ideas. I take all their ideas.
Yeah, totally. What do you like to do for fun to offset all the computer time?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm a dad, so spend time with my family. Um, my wife is a medical resident, so she works like 100 hours a week. So
Whoa.
whenever we get time to get nice. Yeah, she just finished med school. She just started in residency, and it's wild. And I mean, I play a little piano, which I like.
Oh,
Try
cool.
to decompress by playing piano. Yeah, I mean, nothing good. Like my favorite thing. I know we were talking about music earlier. I don't know what kind of music you do, but I like learning theme songs like Westworld and Pokemon and fun little things. Yeah.
Why do you think those call to you? That's interesting.
Oh, they're just kind of like fun jingles. They're like everyone recognizes them.
Yeah,
You're at a party and like, yeah,
yeah. If you're at a party and the Pokemon theme song comes on, best believe everyone knows exactly what's happening.
yeah, and they're laughing their ass off. They're like,
Yeah,
"Oh man, this takes me back." Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
My friend recently showed me. Did you watch SpongeBob growing up?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, you could. So you know that episode where the jellyfish take over his house, and they're in a rave.
Yes.
Da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da,
Yeah.
da, da. So I recently found that song on Spotify, and it's the funniest thing. In the Spotify, they have him like dancing, and you could hear the like him spinning around, and they have all the sound effects. It's really funny.
That's awesome. You know why I love SpongeBob too? I think Squidward's evil brother was Thaddeus. I think he had the same name as me or something.
The one with the that was good at clarinet.
The mustache. Yeah. Yeah, the mustache guy.
Was that his name?
Yeah, his no, it's Squidward.
Yeah.
But he had an evil brother
Hmm.
named Thaddeus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. I
I'm
don't.
the evil brother.
Got
Yeah.
it. Okay. Cool.
So yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do a little music and try to work out when I can, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, for sure. What's your opinion on metaverses?
Um, I don't know a ton about them to be honest. I'm not a huge gamer anymore. I think I have an Oculus I use occasionally. Do some gaming in there. Um, is there Cardano? I think Cardano Spaces or Cardano Towers was talking to us. One of those. So I think we're gonna try to do something um, with one of the Cardano metaverses for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find plenty of tools to squeeze your way into there.
Yeah. Is Clayverse going to be like just Clay, or is it going to be all different Cardano things?
I should know the answer to that.
That's okay. I just know that's big for you.
I'm sure that Clay's all about community. They're not going to shut it out to just Clay, I'm sure.
Yeah,
That would
yeah,
be pretty silly.
that's cool. Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
cool.
Um, cool, man. Well, I mean, this felt very full of information and dense, and I'm down to cut it here and save some more for next time when you build more tools.
That'd be great, man. I'd love to come on anytime.
All right, cool, man. Stay in touch.
Thanks. You too. Great
Yeah,
to meet you.
back at you, bro.
See ya.
Peace.